Hello, Frugal Force. Once again, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty. And in this video, I want to talk about a article that was sent. The link was sent to me and several other people showing us this because they thought we'd be interested in this story. And it's on this website here, Monkeys Fighting Robots. It was created in this site, I guess it was made in 2015. Anyway, the article is, hey, a-hole, and I'm not going to say that word, please stop buying comics. Also, no effing milkshakes for you. So first thing I think of when I see that is, wow, bravo, that is a really intelligent title. I'm sorry, but if you have to resort to swear words in your very title, there's probably going to be something wrong right from the start. Anyway, this article is written by Matthew Sardo. It was released on July 31st, 2017. And I want to just look over it and some of the fallacies and mistakes in this article. So right off the bat, it says, Marvel Comics editor Heather Antos grabbed a milkshake with coworkers this past Friday and posted a selfie of the group on Twitter. I know you're thinking, oh, another milkshake video from Captain Frugal. You're right. I didn't plan on doing this. But then I seen this and it just rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm going to still take a different spin on it. Then it says, the innocent photo managed to become a beacon for worthless internet trolls. Now, first, I will agree, the picture was innocent. I have no problem with that picture. I understand that. But here's the part I do have an issue with, just one of the parts anyway, worthless internet trolls. So once again, if you have any inkling of difference of opinion from an SJW, you are a worthless person. So here goes more, and this is going to be interesting because I want to really point out something here in the SJW mind. It says, here are some of the remarks. Now, right before I even get to those remarks, they never brought up what started this whole fiasco in the first place. So yes, they throw it in your face about what happened, but they never once say why this happened. This article will never say that Heather Antos said the tweets about being harassed, when truthfully all she had was two tweets that were, not really great. One said they'd like to bang the girl in the front, and the other one just says something to the effect of, I wouldn't do that, she seems like the kind who would cry rape. Now, to be fair, it was crass, but none of those things were really harassment, and she went online and then said it was all harassment, and so then these other remarks came after that fact, okay? So after she cried harassment falsely, people responded. They didn't like that. And I can truly understand that. I wouldn't be happy either when somebody's falsifying harassment. Heck, if they truly were harassed, I'd be right there supporting them. But so let's look at some of these remarks. No wonder Marvel comic sales have nosedived. Everyone has moved to DC where there is no SJW crap. Well, yeah, people are sick of the SJW crap on top of poor artwork, poor writing, constant political pandering in your face consistently. Yes, Marvel's always had some politics, but it's never been this ham-fisted, no matter how much they want to tell you it has. It truly hasn't. Maybe I'll do a video on that later. Can we just get off the feminism and social justice and actually print stories? And then mentions DC looks a lot better. You know what? What's wrong with that? That's true. Can we get away with that crap and actually write something good? And DC has better artists, and the stories have been better. Looks like a bunch of SJWs to me. Yeah, it does. Just like the writer of this article that didn't even tell you the very thing that started this whole thing with the milkshakes. Bravo for journalism. Antos received more negative comments over the next 12 hours. Woke up today to a slew of more garbage tweets and DMs. For being a woman. No, you woke up because you falsely stated you were harassed, and people called you out on your crap. So, remember, this was a woman who posted a selfie, so, oh, poor her. Now, here's where it gets really interesting in this article. Here's my open letter to any person who thinks we need less social justice warriors in the comic book industry. Go F yourself, Matt Sardo. Brilliant, Matt. You have to use profanities to get your point across because clearly you didn't use facts, because that eludes you. The job of a superhero is to inspire us all to be better. Peter Parker makes the right choice even when it's not the popular opinion. Just for the record, Peter Parker's not been making the right choice for about the last several years under Dan Slott. He hardly even resembles Peter Parker. He's made many terrible decisions and has had to have his butt saved by co-stars and other supporting characters in the book. He's been written as an inept moron for most of the comic series. Miss. It doesn't matter who you are, Superman will save you because Mom and Pa Kent raised him to be a good kid. Yeah, that's called good parenting, and he learned from that. There's nothing wrong with that. When little Steve Rogers jumps on the grenade in Captain America, the first Avenger, who do you think he was saving? He was saving people. Once again, he's trying to false flag here that people are bigoted and things like that in the comic industry, and they wouldn't have saved a certain group of diverse people. That's malarkey. That's not what people have to complain about with these books. It's crappy writing, crappy politics thrown in their face constantly, constant pandering, bad artwork, poor characterization. We like diverse characters if they're written well. I mean, there's been a lot of great diverse characters, and they don't have to be like us. I remember growing up loving Luke Cage. He's been neutered now. He was awesome before in the 70s. Black Panther's been awesome. His recent series have been terrible. If you don't believe me, read a current issue of Black Panther, well, one that hasn't been canceled, or pick up one that's just been canceled, and then compare it to an issue written by Christopher Priest. Night and day difference in quality. Get back to me on that. Complaining about reboots is one thing. Yeah, because they have to keep rebooting it in order to maintain any level of sales because the stories stink. But when you're angry about diversity in a comic, you have the problem. Once again, that's not why people are angry. It's not the diversity. It's bad writing. On top of that, too, it's also crapping on legacy characters to promote the current ones. And what I mean by that is Marvel makes the current characters out to be absolute garbage and beneath the new characters, these Mary Sues, of how great these new ones are. So they're promoting these new ones at the expense of the former ones. No wonder people that love these classic characters are angry. Moving forward, you have two choices. Stop being an a-hole or stop reading comics. Or how about a third option? Stop reading these comics, tell them how you feel, and see if they make them better again. Which is what the people are doing. They've been sick of being silenced and not hearing it, and they want good stories. So you didn't think about that option because you're not allowed to speak against you, are we? Since we launched Monkeys Fighting Robots in 2015, I've seen some pretty dark comments about diverse comics and women. I bet you've seen more diverse, more rough and dark comments about the crappiness of your articles because clearly this doesn't have facts. I do not give in to internet trolls, but when they start harassing a woman for getting a effing milkshake, you have too much time on your hands. First of all, that was not harassment. There is yet to be one single tweet pointed out that was true harassment. I see worse in my video comments and in my own personal Twitter. Come on now. And I don't want you as part of this community of comic book nerds. That's the big thing right there. SJWs are ruining something great. Comics used to be inclusive. You know, almost looked down upon the comic nerds, if you will, and I say that with great pride. Because we were a happy group, a group that get together. But then when SJWs penetrated it now and pretty much took over, it's now went from inclusive to an exclusive thing. If you are not exactly like them and want to be like them and pander everything to them, they want you out. How is that? They don't want you part of this comic book community. Yeah, exactly. Who would have thought? If this were the Ultimate Universe, Captain America would be knocking on your door to kick the crap out of you. No, he wouldn't. That was bullcrap. Captain America would not have done that. That makes no sense whatsoever. And notice he didn't even say exactly what it was. I think he meant pandering to the diversity. No, Captain America's for the everyman. And I mean, when I say everyman, that's every person. Their personal liberties and things. Nobody said they hated these people. Once again, that's projection. I bet 99% of you trolls would piss your pants before the first punch was landed. This comes from a guy that's probably peed his pants when somebody looks at him hard. I'm sorry. Grow up. Once again, remember, the guy is talking about harassment and how mean it is that says things like, what do we have right here? Yeah, kudos to you, man. Superman will give you a second chance. And that's what I'm going to do. So notice here he pictures himself as a Superman. But this is your final warning. What are you going to do about it? You're an idiot. You don't use facts. You don't even know what you're talking about. Heck, you probably don't even read comic books. So when you say this, maybe you ought to pull your head out of it and you might have a clue what's going on. Anyway, it said, if you sent an insult to Antos, you need to apologize. You know what? I can understand that. If you were rude to her for no reason, you probably should. Though I will say the amount of pandering and using of this fiasco of milkshakes is ridiculous. Matter of fact, I almost think it was completely made up. I'm pretty sure of it. At this point, the comic books that they've been doing are tanking, and this is just a ploy to get attention, to get sales. And I think it might actually have done even worse for them. I think it reversed it. Just hit that comment button you used to send the insult, type I'm sorry. Maybe this person should say sorry to all the fans that they insulted, or that he insulted, even though later on he's going to try to act like he didn't do anything to do that. If diverse superheroes makes you angry, you need to ask yourself some serious questions. If opposing views makes you angry, maybe you should ask yourself serious questions, especially about how you're a hypocrite and don't know what you're talking about. If you think you can bully the comic book community, you are wrong, and you need to stop bullying buying comic books. How about you stop buying comic books because you clearly don't know what you're talking about? Clearly. All right. Now, the next thing I want to mention is if you have an opinion about the comic industry, comment below. Sorry, I think my feed is cutting out a little bit. Here is the writer of the book. Okay, there we go. It says, I'm currently training for my next job as an astronaut cowboy. Probably should keep doing that because your articles suck. Reform hockey goon, comic book store owner. I really doubt that because he clearly doesn't know much about comic books. Video store clerk. That I can believe. An extra in the Transformers Dark of the Moon. He probably was stepped on by an Autobot. Welcome back, freshman. And for one special day, I was a Ghostbuster. He's probably a guy that got shot in the butt or something. So anyway, let's look at the comments. And right away, people targeted this guy, and I'm glad he deserved it. This isn't bullying, saying that it discredits children across the world for being pushed to suicide from hurtful words, and implying these complaints are the same as those troubled children. Then that what they endure is despicable. Absolutely, this person is spot on. This was not harassment. It's pretty much what he's saying, and called him out. And of course, the response from him was, do you think it's okay to harass someone? No. That wasn't harassment, you bonehead. Next, anyway, I don't appreciate you threatening and bullying the comic book community for not agreeing with your political ideology. Great point. That has nothing to do with the Marvel Universe. In your own words, Matt, go F yourself. You want Captain America to kick the crap out of the bad, mean bullies. What he really wants is anybody that doesn't agree with him, because the social justice warrior mentality is, if you don't agree with me, you need to be stomped down and silenced or eliminated. And I've seen that just today in tweets that I might make a later on video about when I was having a chat with Diversity of Comics with some other ones on Twitter when all of a sudden we were interrupted by a very nasty, vile tweet. And so anyway, this is an interesting point here. It gets mentioned of Gamergate, and that's another topic that's been discussed a lot. And you know what? I don't think this is quite Gamergate, but I do see some resemblance there. There is a lot of comic book websites and stuff that will not write negative reviews because they know they won't get interviews and things like that to bring clicks. Matter of fact, I've had a conversation with one before about improper comic writer behavior, and I was told pretty much, well, they give them a very long rope to hang themselves because they don't want to hurt their feelings because they bring clicks to the website. Yeah. So in other words, they get special treatment for clicks, whereas anybody else would be shot down for that. And they know it. They're very well aware of it. And at some point in this, I challenge you to really look into. Look at the websites. If they end up giving like a very mediocre review of an issue, see if they continue reviewing issues of that series anytime soon. Sometimes they just don't bother because instead of giving a negative, they just won't review it. All right. So this is why the comment section's open. We would love to continue the conversation with you. I use the singular a-hole because I know that there are way more good comic book nerds than trolls. Now I want to point out here, singular. This was not intended to be singular. That is a bold-faced lie. Okay? This was, even though it is listed as singular, this was not what it was meant. It was meant to a group. And he proves that with the end of saying apologies. Remember, like here too, if open letter to any person, that's not singular. Okay, if you sent an insult, so he's not talking to one person here, he is lying. Good try, Matthew. You lied. You were caught. You called a whole bunch of people a-holes, and you got called out on it because you didn't even have the facts for anything, and you were completely wrong and biased. Alright, so that was my take on this. Yeah, I just wanted to speak out on that because this bothered me. This is a common thing we're seeing in the comic culture, is twist the things on the fans, blame them for everything. The writer did no wrong. Now, sometimes the fans do wrong, and I don't condone that as well, but professionals do need to behave as such. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. Please share it with others. This channel is growing. The Frugal Force is doing amazing. I've got a very passionate group, and I am so thankful for that. And I noticed, if you didn't notice, I do not run ads on my videos. So if you do want to support me, please go to my VidMe channel. Just go to vid.me and look for Captain Frugal, and you can subscribe for as little as $1 a month, or you can just give me a tip. As the Frugal Force grows, I might even do a Patreon later. If you want to help me and support me in other ways that are not financial, such as giving me ideas for stories, sending me Captain Frugal art, or things from my website and things like that, I would love that. You can also check out the other articles and things at thehenchmanslounge.com. So until next time, Frugal Force, keep it frugal.